The birth of Moses. Long ago in the land of Egypt, the children of Israel lived as slaves under the rule of Pharaoh. Their lives were bitter with hard labor, yet they continued to grow in number and strength. This made Pharaoh fearful, for he thought, if the Hebrews grow too strong, they may rise against us. Out of fear and cruelty, he gave a terrible command. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be killed, while the girls were allowed to live. In this time of danger, a Levite man and woman, Amram and Jochebed, gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. From the moment she saw him, Jochebed's heart was filled with love and hope. She could not bear the thought of surrendering him to Pharaoh's decree. For 3 months she hid her child, cradling him in silence, praying that God would protect him from discovery. But as the baby grew, his cries became harder to silence. Jochebed knew she could not keep him hidden forever. Trusting God with a mother's courage, she wove a small basket from reeds of the Nile, sealing it with tar and pitch so it would float. With trembling hands, she placed her precious son inside the basket and set it among the reeds by the riverbank, committing him into God's care. Her daughter Miriam, though still a child, stood at a distance to watch what would happen. It was then that Pharaoh's daughter came to bathe in the river. As her attendants walked along the bank, she noticed the basket among the reeds. Curious, she opened it and saw the crying baby. Moved with compassion, she said, "This must be one of the Hebrew children." She resolved to save him, despite her father's cruel command. At that moment, Miriam stepped forward bravely. She offered, "Shall I go and call a Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter agreed, and Miriam ran to fetch her own mother, Jochebed. By God's providence, the child's own mother was chosen to care for him, and she was even paid to nurse her son. When the child grew older, Jochebed brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own and named him Moses, saying, "Because I drew him out of the water." Thus, in the midst of danger and cruelty, God preserved the life of a child who would one day lead his people out of slavery. Moses' birth was not only a story of a mother's courage and a sister's watchful eye, but also of God's divine plan unfolding from the very beginning. Please like and leave a comment. If you're not following us, you probably will not see us again. Follow for more.